days or so. Same with Ty. I asked Vic about Ty yesterday. He's like, yeah. And they seem to be giving him more second team reps. Even, I saw him with a first team rep just to see, I guess, if they can kickstart him. And Eli's more important, I obviously. So start with Eli. It's been, I don't think he's going to contribute much this year. I really don't. I don't think he's ready. Now, he might be a great player by 2027. And then Ty, do you think he's got it? Yeah, I mean, they got 4 very good defensive tackles, and you probably have to keep Uar. Are you really going to keep 6?
Yeah. I'll start with Eli. I think I've been a little disappointed, a little bit. I kind of expected it to be a project. He didn't block much in college. He's a former college quarterback. I mean, like, this is still new to him. Like, he started playing tight end like 3-4 years ago. Like, I expected this to be a long, time, and I think this is more about a developmental year where he's ready to replace Dallas Goedert. You hope in 2027. I think you're probably gonna have to get used to a bunch of Johnny Munt, Cameron Latu, heavy. If they're gonna do heavy, tight end sets, it's gonna be more about having those guys out there as blockers. I just don't think you're gonna get a ton of Eli Stowers this year. And the one thing that just has caught me by surprise is in college he was such a threat. I thought he really stretched out defenses in the middle of the field as like a vertical threat with his size and his speed. He was a matchup problem against safeties and linebackers. I just haven't seen him threaten really as a guy that gets downfield and makes a ton of big explosive plays. And he has that explosive element. He showed that at Vanderbilt. And I'm just wondering if, like, is Eli Stowers, is he thinking too much? Is it just over what they're asking him to block? They're asking him do a lot of different things. Is it just overwhelming to the sense where he's not really playing freely and he's overthinking things? I think that's a real possibility that this is just going to take some time, but I haven't seen the athleticism and that freakish ability that I think intrigued the Eagles and that intrigued people about Eli Stowers as a prospect. They talked about, he has this great ability to like sit in the zone and get open and just make plays. I haven't seen that really in particular. I think a lot of the stuff has been like, they're dumping balls off to him in the flat and he gets upfield a little bit, but like in a game, there'll be like a 10-yard gain. I just don't think he's there yet. I think he's made a few more plays here and there in practice recently. I think there's reason to still feel confident about him going forward, but it's another rookie I would have probably smaller expectations about this year. It doesn't mean he's going to be a bad player long-term. And then Ty Robinson, I mean, the first week of camp, he was non-existent. Like I did a 53. I left him off at the 53 because I don't think I saw him make one play. The last 3 days of practice, he's done well in one-on-ones again, though. I mean, you got to take it in consideration. He's beating guys like Jake Majors and other offensive linemen. They're probably aren't going to be on this roster, but they're giving him the thing that makes me feel like he's going to make the roster is they keep giving him first and second team reps. They want Ty Robinson to make this roster. And I think in the team drills, he's been a little bit better. Like he had a sack on Tanner McKee the other day.
Yeah, that was a covered sack though. Wasn't it?
Yeah. Tanner McKee held the ball for 40 hours again. But like, so I don't know how much to take. Obviously we don't get to see the training camp film, so we got to see the context of all these plays. But I think he's been making some more plays in practice. I think his hand usage is pretty good. I think he has that one little club move. It's not perfect.
He does have that club move. That in one-on-ones, yeah, I think it was Jake. He beat with that club move. It was pretty good.
He's got long arms too. Like he has like the that part of it is fine. The only reason I put him in a little bit of progress is because through 1 year he showed me absolutely nothing as a pro. I thought he was a complete bust, like even up until last week, and he could still be that, and he could still not make the roster. You make a point, like, are they going to carry 6 guys? I don't think Ty Robinson is a roster lock at all. I think he's been a little bit better, and I think you have to hope that helps with his confidence a little bit. The fact that he's been making more plays. So I don't feel great about Ty Robinson though, but it's been better than it was, 2 weeks ago, which isn't a high bar. So I put him in I put him in the progress perspective, but like we got to see how he builds on that. He's got to play well in preseason games.
You think they're going to keep 6 there? Because you think they're going to keep Uar presumably?
I don't know what they're going to do with Uar. I mean, Uar is so far from being ready to play. I was talking about it with people yesterday. I think Joshua Weiroo is a lot closer than Uar Bernard, and Weiroo has actually been the more impressive player, I think, in training camp. But Uar does have some strength. You see him on some of those one-on-ones.
Yeah.
He could drive someone back. It's once he drives someone back, he has no idea what to do from there. So he's a humongous project. If you keep him on the active roster, you know that it's going to be a complete redshirt year where he's never active really, unless it's like maybe week 18 or whatever. Then they want to throw him out there. But it's not. You're keeping a roster spot for a guy that you know is going to make no impact. So that's kind of difficult, but at the same time, you're going to want him to practice. I would think he needs those practice reps, but who knows? Maybe they just think he needs a year to be acclimated to the NFL in general, like being around the team and like watching.
Come up with the last second sprained ankle before they cut the.
I think
that's to your point. I mean, then he can't practice, and then it's like,
Yeah.
My thought is going through it with Mailata is they know coming in he's a multi-year project. So I mean, that's why they drafted him. And remember, they have inactive guys every week anyway. So I think people misunderstand. It's not like, it's not like it's creating an inconvenience. But if they quickly affirm that this guy's got nothing, maybe they go in a different direction and just keep Ty Robinson. But all indications with Jordan and even Vic, when Vic said, you guys got to get off this because these are long-term projects, basically. And I think the follow-up was, but you're invested in them. He said, yeah, we're invested in this. So, I mean, it's kind of tough to tell, but the Eagles kind of signaled, all right, we think this guy's a long-term project. We want to be in the Uar Bernard business. I haven't seen anything that would take me off that position yet.
No.
But maybe roster crunch is. Maybe you want to keep all 5 defensive tackles. Maybe that's it.
Yeah. But if they do decide to keep Uar, and we'll see whether
nobody's picking them up on waivers either. Who's picking them up?
I do think someone may do it just because of like
maybe the PR aspect of it.
Yes, and the fact that the Eagles discovered Mailata, he did test like one was. I do not think they're going to risk him the waiver. He's either going to make this roster or, like you say, he's going to have a phantom sprained ankle against the Bengals that's going to keep him out for the year.
Yeah, I think that's most likely.
If they do keep Uar, I don't think they keep 6 defensive tackles though. There's too much talent at other positions for them to go 6. Maybe they get Ty Robinson back on the practice squad. I also feel like you could probably find, a defensive tackle, from another team's roster, stick him on your practice squad, a guy that's got 3-4 years experience, and elevate him on game days. If you feel like you need a 5th, you probably don't need a 5th. I think Byron Young's awesome. Yeah. Camp as the 4th defensive tackle. I feel very good about that room. Other than the 5th spot, it's a good problem to have.
At Caden_Steele 19. Make sure you follow Caden on the X platform. Can read him at nj.com. Doing a great job down there. You excited for the preseason opener?
Yeah, I mean, to some level, honestly, like my mind is like more thinking about next week, like going down to New England, seeing AJ Brown against his former teammates, seeing AJ Brown. You hope Quinyon's healthy for those practices. I'm way more excited about that environment in those 2 days.
Yeah,
than Saturday.
Those are important. Yeah, those are important.
Saturday.
It is important for the younger guys, though.
Yes.
Like Eli Ricks proved, you can go make the team by playing well in the preseason. So
I'm excited to see Eli Stowers in this preseason. Can he make some more plays in the preseason? I want to see Eli Stowers. I'm excited to see, different guys on. There's reasons to be intrigued with this. Like who's cornerback for? I think Mac McWilliams.
Mac getting first team reps when Quinyon gets banged up. Now Jonathan Jones is out. That's why. But that was something. He's starting to show a little bit. Mac McWilliams.
Yeah. At least I feel good about him making the roster. Like if going in the summer, I wasn't sure, what the combination would be like as in the backup cornerback room. I feel
How
pretty
do
good.
you fit Keely Ringo on this roster?
I don't think he makes it all. I know he's a great gunner, and that is valuable, and like that, it gives him a chance, and maybe that's what gets him on ultimately. He's unplayable as a corner, and he has been. I mean, and the fact that like I was watching the other day, they had even in the third team or the second team, they had Jacorian Bennett and Tyreek Casher-Fields. The first day Jonathan Jones was out, and they had Keely with the developmental period. Like Tyreek Casher-Fields has been much better than Keely this summer.
Yes, but what are the odds that your fifth corner is going to play versus a gunner who can help you?
Yeah,
like that. I'm a big special teams guy. People get pissed off. Like Will Shipley, I hear a lot of people say Will's in danger. He's not in danger because he's the top kickoff returner. Now they gave some other guys opportunities, but he's also the personal protector for Braden Mann. He's not getting cut. Plus, he had a better day yesterday.
Yeah. And your point on Keely, I mean, you make a good point. If you're down to your fifth corner, or like, let's say they keep Mac McWilliams, Jonathan Jones, and Keely. If let's say Quinion or Reek Willen gets hurt, and then you're throwing out Jonathan Jones, and then Jonathan Jones gets hurt, and then Mac McWilliams gets hurt, and you're down to Keely Ringo, you're screwed anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a fair point. You could probably get some corners on the practice squad that you feel better about.
Yeah, you can get Castrofields back. He's been on the practice squad. You can get him on the practice.
Nobody's claiming him.
Yeah,
he's been good in practices. I don't think he was like particularly great in preseason games last year though. So yeah, I think Keely is a pure special teamers at this point. I'm like
they might have two. They might keep JT Gray. Just have the best gunners in the NFL.
That's too much.
That's too much. That's too much.
All right, Caden, final question for me. 10 days into camp, has the ceiling raised for you, and where is the floor? How is it adjusted? What's the ceiling and the floor for this team based on what you've seen so far?
I am encouraged by the offense. I think there are still question marks about because, I mean, we haven't seen it. We got to see it in the regular season. So I'm not willing to raise the ceiling to they're the best team in the NFC. But the defense has been so good this summer that I feel great about that. Like at every level, pretty much of that defense, the defensive line. Or you talk about Jalen Hurts. Wow, what a camp he's had. The linebackers, all of it's been great. I think even more importantly than Jalen's progression, I think Jalen's looked good. I mean, it's hard to judge the running game in practice. Man, Saquon Barkley looks good, and Tank Bigsby looks good. And I know there's some caveat of they're not bringing these guys to the ground. But I think this running game is going to be good. I think Cam Jurgens, I know you left practice a couple of times. I think he's looked really athletic again. I think he looks healthy. And so I think you got to feel good about that. I think Tyler Steen's looked really good. I think his running game is going to be good. The defense is going to be good. And Jalen's just a weird player where it feels like when everything is against him, he ends up having a pretty good year. So I think the ceiling of this team's probably like a 12-5 team. Maybe I would probably go 12-5 the ceiling. Because of the defense, I would probably go the floor 9-8.
Yeah, I think the floor is very high. I think the ceiling could be even higher. I think it'd be 13.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. The floor is very high because of the defense. I think I'm going to try to ask Nick. I think the offense. I think they finished install yesterday. So now you've seen the entire offense. So get ready for some Jordan Love Packers, baby.
Yeah, and they're doing it. I mean, we talked about all spring whether they're going to do more of this under center stuff. Are they going to do some of this West Coast offense stuff? They're doing it. Let's see how that works. But they are going full. I mean, they're going in with Sean Mannion. I think they believe in him, and we'll see how it works in the long run.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, buddy. We're back on the practice field tomorrow. I will see you then, unfortunately for you.
Okay, thank you, man. We appreciate you doing it today. We'll keep reading up on your work on NJ.com. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
See you,
thanks,
bud.
Gator.